Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, we're going to play a little game of Would You Rather. I'm going to put up a handful of different items and cards at various price points, and you tell me which you'd rather have, if any. Let's hop right into it. You know we're going to do it PowerPoint style. Seeking value in the Pokemon market. Some considerations up front, kind of laying out what the video is going to look like a little bit too. Yeah, every slide, I'm going to have just a few items. I think I did 3 per slide. All items that recently sold in the past 90 days on eBay, PWCC, wherever it was. And this is not going to be trying to make like any broad point of vintage versus modern or pitting one type of the one portion of the market against another. I'm not trying to create any narratives or confirm any biases or anything like that. It's going to be a diverse little selection of items that I put together. And there's no right answer, to be honest. Please, as we go, I will kind of talk through some of my thoughts on each. Please leave in the comments what you believe, what you would prefer for each, which one you'd rather for each slide. I didn't really number them or anything, but I guess do A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3 in the order that they're presented on the slide. But there really is no right or wrong answer. These are all recent data points, recent sales. The market is literally the sum, the totality of all of our individual opinions and thoughts combined. So the market is more right. These are more right than any one of us individually can be. So each grouping on each slide, they're all equally valued, clearly, as demonstrated by the market. Number 3, third point on this I wanted to cover. I say it many times, we're all playing a different game. My answer would be different, whether I have to hold it or flip it or collect it, keep it in my collection. Just so what card do I like the most to hold on to forever? What card do I like the most if I have to sit on it for 5 years before I can sell it? What item would I rather have in my inventory to have a high liquidity quick sale? So I'll try to touch on each one of those points as I go through the slides. And I'll kind of bring it all together at the end with my current stance on where we are in the market and tying that in like with what point I'm at in my Pokemon journey. If you've been following my channel for a long time, you kind of know where I'm at. You kind of know that I've downsized most of my collection pieces. There's not too much that is in inventory, isn't listed for sale at this point. But yeah, let's get right into it with the first comparison. So here's the 12K tier. You know I had to do it. You know this video was prompted by something. I've actually had the thumbnail. Shout out Ernesto, Boise Boys TV. I've had the thumbnail for a long time, but that 12K Black Label Moonbreon sale on PWCC, it was confirmed paid, as far as I understand. I wasn't the buyer, I wasn't the seller, so I don't have that deep level confirmation, but PWCC apparently did confirm it on Instagram. And very recently, this was not a purchase I made. None of these were purchases or sales that I made. But base set booster box. I've actually got one behind me. You can't see it in this camera view, but Charmander's holding on to it right there. I recently have bought like 3 base set booster boxes in the past 2 months at around more like a 13K price point. So someone got a pretty good deal relative to what I paid on eBay at 12K. And BGS 8.5 base first Charizard. So if I want to look at it from collector versus flipper versus investor, I guess. So if I had to hold one of these forever, I would probably go base first Charizard, personally. If I had to hold it for 10 years and then ultimately sell it into the market, so kind of invest in it, which one would I pick? I would probably pick longer term value. I think it's tough between the base set unlimited, because I think those will always be being broken for box breaks on YouTube, on Twitch, on whatnot, places like that. But I would probably pick the Charizard if I had to just blindly hold it, couldn't sell it for 5, 10, 20 years, whatever the number was. Base first is base first, right? And the Moonbreon, had I been on the selling side of that, I would have very much loved to have been on the selling side of that. I would not. I've seen a couple go up for sale, 12K, OBO, and I don't know if any have matched the sale since. I believe I've actually seen some come down from that. I don't believe in my ability to replicate that sale. So if I had to have one of these items to sell, I would lean heavily towards the base set box. I mean, I've literally been a buyer at 13K. So clearly, I mean, I'd just take the base set unlimited box and keep it and break it and grade the lights. when you're looking at a black label Pokemon card, there's nowhere else to go. You've got that is the final product. With BGS 8.5, very unlikely it could be a PSA 9 or anything like that. But when you're at a lower grade than the highest black label, you theoretically have a chance to optimize the grade. Don't worry about the play I made last summer on that, if anyone remembers. Didn't go so well. But yeah, slab optimization is a thing, except for when you're literally the pinnacle, the black label. There's nowhere to go higher. So the booster box gives you options, though. You can sell it as a sealed box. You can consign it to a streamer that'll stream it for you for a commission. You can sell it through somebody who, I mean, you can break it yourself, open the heavies, sell the heavies, grade the lights, a lot of options. So I'd honestly leaned heavily towards the base set first Charizard for the first two, and then the base set booster box for the final if I had to just sell it into the market. Next tier, 8 to 9K tier. This was not my sale, but I have been a seller multiple times of the 2016 Champions Festival, Japanese PSA 10. In the middle, a little bit hard to see now that I'm looking at it. It is the 279 XYP 20th Anniversary PSA 10 Festa. It's got the Kanto starters along with Pikachu, who I guess if you played Pokemon Yellow like me was also a Kanto starter. Weird thing going on 130 point with that. There was definitely one sold around 6,800, and then there were 3 listings shown recently, the past few weeks, sold for $9,000 each, but it was the same listing, same card. So I don't know if I believe the 9K, but anyways, the 6,800 happened. If it's like any other PSA 10 Japanese card in the past several months, it's going up like crazy lately. So I kind of believe the 9K could be in the ballpark. That's why I threw it in here. And then the PSA 10 Art Academy Melly Pikachu English. So what we have here, 3 cards from almost the same year. Art Academy was 2015, I believe. And then you've got 2 2016 cards. All of them featuring Kanto, Pikachu. You've got a similar theme going on. All great cards, to be honest. What I really like most, though, the standout for me, as far as if I have to hold it super long term, it's not increased so much recently. It's been kind of up there for a while. I actually had a spare PSA 10 Melly Pikachu Art Academy that I sold a year or two ago, or in the same vicinity, in the 8K range. So that one's more been there. It's not had a recent 2x, 5x, 10x, anything like that. So if I have to hold it for 20 years, give me the Melly Pikachu, the Art Academy. If I have to sell it today, honestly, I've sold 3 within the past 4 or 5 months. Give me the 2016 PSA 10 Japanese Champions Festival. I'm going to sell it quick, though. But I'm pretty sure there's buyers there. I mean, this one just sold 2-26, so a couple weeks ago. The Festa would probably be fairly liquid as well, given everything that's going on with Japanese PSA 10s. But yeah, liquidity, I would lean towards the Festival. Long-term hold, I would lean towards the Art Academy. Collector, I would lean towards the Art Academy as well, just because it's 1 of 100 awarded. It was awarded. I actually bought directly from the artist. Not that I know her, not that I have any actual connection through that, but it is cooler, the release of it, the story behind it. Whereas the Champions Festival was given out to several hundred competitors in the 2016 World Championships. And then the Festa, I'm honestly not entirely sure of the release behind that, but leaning towards collector and investor, leaning towards the Melly, and liquidity-wise, leaning towards the Festival. Let's look at the 5 to 6K tier. Some of these things, too, are considerations that I go through when I have certain inventory. I don't really invest in any inventory, but say I have 50 of a given card. If one has bad short-term prospects and I think it's going to tank in the short to medium term, I'm going to list that one first. I'm going to hold a little tighter to the ones I believe in longer term, and I'm going to hot potato the ones that I don't believe is long term. So this is applicable whether you're a collector, whether you're an investor, whether you're a flipper like me. I think these are relevant thoughts to have about every item you have, every item you buy, every item that passes through your hands. So here's the 5 to 6K tier. You have a champion stamp, 2013 Champions Festival. That was awarded. This was actually sold by Scott Pratt, I believe. Only 6 awarded. 6 awarded to the 3 TCG and video game in the 3 different age levels, Masters, Seniors, Juniors. So a 1 of 6 card in the world. Could be extra copies, as always. Same as the Art Academies. There's definitely extra copies, but it is a trophy card. It was awarded for winning the World Championships. $5,600 on auction just a few weeks ago. And PSA 9 Umbreon Gold Star, for anyone unfamiliar, it's a non-hollow card, but it's a beautiful, beautiful gold star. Approximately 1 in 40 to pull a gold star from the Pop 5 series packs. $500 pack, 2 cards in it. 1 in 40 chance to pull that card. You can't weigh them because it's non-hollow. There's a little bit of just information behind that one. And then you have what I presume is a low pop. I didn't check the pop, but clearly a low pop Heracross from Neo Genesis, PSA 10 first edition. If I am a investor, long-term hold, I've got to hold it 10 years blindly. Give me the trophy card. Give me the one that came from the world champion of the Pokemon World Championships in 2013. Second, I guess, would be the Umbreon Gold Star. I guess I'm not doing first, second, third for everything, but if I have to do as a collector, just the history, older, rarer, mint or better, that kind of thing, I'm going with the winner again. I'm going with the champion. And then liquidity wise, honestly, I feel like peak liquidity, I mean, anything is liquid if you put it in an auction, right? Anything is liquid. Liquidity is a function of price. If I'm trying to make a sale though, I feel like all of these cards are at a high enough price point that the liquidity wouldn't be like massive on any of these if you're trying to realize the full price. But I would go, this is the first checking all 3 boxes. I would go with the champion stamp. I would be kind of shocked had that gone up as a buy it now for 8 to 10K. I would be kind of shocked if that wouldn't have been able to sell. Not really a card I would have auctioned. There have been a handful of auctions of this champion stamp selling in that range over the past year or two, but there have been private sales of finalists and quarterfinalists from the same, even more modern, 2014 to 2019, the even less desirable Champions Festivals. Obviously, that one's not a super desirable art, but I believe it's got the Bidoof there, so it's got to be decent, right? But yeah, that's the first one with the clean sweep. I would pick it on all 3 counts. Let's get to the next value tier, $1,500 tier. And all these things were just achieved by, obviously, the Moonbreon came from PWCC, but go to eBay, search Pokemon, do completed listings, sold listings, and then type in range. Type in $1,400 to $1,600 and look for sold listings. And you can kind of just scroll through. It's kind of mind-blowing to see what some of these cards sell for. A sells for B, like they all sell for the same range. And I've mentioned it in many different live streams, many different conversations with people. PSA 8 WotC first edition hollows for 100, while I'm selling PSA 10 coins for 100, while I'm selling PSA 10, or people are selling 001 SVPs that they just bought for 20 bucks and graded for 15, they're selling for 100 bucks. So you all got to make your own value determinations on these things and make your own opinion. But yeah, let's continue on. You've got the OG Moonbreon. You've got the first edition Neo Discovery, Umbreon, $1,525. You've got a TCA Gaming Rusty Consignment, PSA 9 Unlimited, Neo Destiny Charizard. And then you've got a Black Label, Palkia V-Star. Japanese. It is not PSA. A little bit of search manipulation going on in the title there. Anyways, collector, I like first edition WotC. I am glad they got away from the whole first edition thing. I hope they never bring it back. But if I deal with WotC, I've got to go with the first edition. I really like the original Moonbreon a lot. Neo Discovery was a great set. I'm going collector boy. I'm going Umbreon. I have opened and graded the Unlimited Shining Charizard in PSA 10 a couple times. But I'm leaning towards Umbreon. If I've got to do it as an investor, I'm again leaning towards the Umbreon. Not going with that Black Label Premium Ultra Modern. I don't think that will pan out very well, but I absolutely could be wrong. And so I did collector, investor. Liquidity wise, I feel like I'd lean just towards the Charizard because it's Charizard, even though it's not first edition. It is Charizard. Moonbreon though, that one's really close. That one's probably honestly a tie. So maybe Moonbreon, you can call it kind of an honorable mention for almost a clean sweep as well. $500 tier. I've got one behind me. You can't see it with my camera angle, but I've got a Precious Collector box. Shout out to my video I made on how to create a Tenso account and do a lottery entry for the Japanese Pokemon Center. If you haven't done it yet, there is a product coming out this fall. I can't even remember what it's called now. Shouldn't have even mentioned it because I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, there's a PSA 8 base unlimited Charizard that's sold for $510. And there's an Evolutions pre-release kit box sealed. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, has a handful of booster packs inside of it, and it also has a random pre-release promo. It could be Charizard, or it could be any of the other 3 that came from that set. So could get really a dud box if you open that and don't get the Charizard pre-release promo. Probably better left sealed. Whereas the Precious Collector box, that one has kind of a play. I was talking about earlier, the option as a business. As a business, I would honestly lean towards, like, liquidity-wise of sale, the Precious Collector box, because not only can I sell that quickly, high liquidity at its current price, I think that's a very replicable sale. Though I do believe the PSA 8 Unlimited Charizard is also a replicable sale with high liquidity. But the Precious Collector box, you have options too. You can open it up, you can grade the promo. Not a guaranteed 10, but Japanese Modern, Japanese New Back, very high chance of getting a PSA 10. So you have options with the Precious Collector box. I'd lean towards that for business-wise, because I'd have options. Collector-wise, base set Charizard, that was the king of the playground. That's got my nostalgia, so I would go with that. Investment-wise, that one's a little bit tougher. Honestly, base set Unlimited Charizard, PSA 8, a lot more being opened every day, week, month, every event. There's some box break going on. I would probably lean towards the Precious Collector box, honestly. Might be kind of a surprising answer to some people, but I don't think it's going to follow in the footsteps of the limited collection Master Battle set. But it is kind of an analogous product, probably printed a lot higher, but these things have historically aged well. And the Charizard, I think it will just become a victim of how high print run that was. I think there were well over 1 million base set Unlimited Charizards printed. So I think that will be something that really holds it back. One thing I just wanted to shout out, as I was making this video, it kind of reminded me back to the time I made the how would I spend 10 million in Pokemon video. I went through tier by tier, 1, 10, 100, 1,000, all the way up to $10 million. What would I buy? Where do I find value at each relative tier? Kind of an analogous video, a little bit of a different spin on it. I will try to, one thing I don't do, I usually throw a random thing. I'm going to try to do it right here though. It should pop in above my head where you click the little card and it will bring you to that video if you're interested in watching it. I need to get better at linking specific videos in the cards. But yeah, that video is there if you're interested in seeing what I did then. That is really all I've got for today's video. So I appreciate you all watching. I will be live this week as I normally am. I will do a short Friday as I normally do. I will bonus live this week. I will do my normal daily live stream either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know my schedule for the week yet, so I don't know which day. I will be doing a pack ripping stream one of these nights. I will have heavy base set Unlimited available. I will have heavy base set 4th print 1999 to 2000 available. I'll have Crown Zenith, Evolving Skies, Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Celebrations, Top Series 2. I'll have a little bit of everything. 2 years on YouTube. It's been 2 years on YouTube. Nick and I just did our 2nd anniversary Pokeflips last week. And my first video uploaded on my channel was Pokeflips. It's also kind of like a 3K subscriber celebration that I never really said anything about. A lot of things, perfect storm of things going on. So I figured I'd do a little bit of a fun late night rip and ship stream to celebrate some of those occasions. Other ways to support the channel. If you don't want to tune into that, there's the join button down below. Silly little emojis that you can get for 99 cents. Nice badges to show how long you've supported. By no means is there any... I'm not going to like you more if you join. I'm not going to like you less if you don't join. So it's there, but it doesn't need to be utilized. And like, sub, all those free options. eBay affiliate link below. Amazon, there's a graded guard code. I see that a couple people have been going in and buying the Zion cases. So I appreciate you guys using my link. It doesn't provide a discount for the Zion cases, but you do get a 10% discount off on your first order of graded guards if you go that route. But I do get a kickback still if you buy a Zion case through my link, even though you don't get a discount. So all those ways are always there to support me. I appreciate everyone watching as always. I will catch you all later.